I've been a revert for 2.5 years. Alhamdulillah, it actually starts even, let's say, long before that. So let's say it's been 3.5 years that I've learned about Islam, maybe 4, right? And Alhamdulillah, I used to go to high school. I used to follow this one course, and it all had to do with science-related subjects. So there was coding, there was biology, there was maths, physics, and I absolutely hated it. COVID hit. And believe it or not, the first year of my high school was when COVID hit. And alhamdulillah, here in Italy, they just let everyone pass their school year that particular year. So it didn't really even matter if I succeeded in it or not. I was just going to pass it in any case. And subhanAllah, the most interesting part was actually on the next year. So the second year, where alhamdulillah, and I say alhamdulillah, although I wasn't really happy during that period, Allah Azza wa Jal, it's not that because it was my fault, but I failed that year. But only now, there's a famous quote, life makes sense in reverse, but we only live it forwards, right? SubhanAllah, I failed that year. And there's a total of 10 subjects at school, in high school at least, 10. And I had, I think, below sufficient marks in 6 to 7 of them. So it was an absolute failure on that school year. And I remember that I thought, okay, what on earth is going to happen to me? Like, all the worst things that started to come to my head, like, am I going to become a failure? Am I going to have to go work a random job and just be doomed for the rest of my life? You know, all these horrible thoughts come to you, right? And alhamdulillah, I decided to switch let's say, the subjects that I was studying, the classes that I had, because I realized, you know what, maybe this whole science thing isn't for me. And so I decided to switch, and I switched with also another friend of mine who also failed his school year, the same year that I did. And I decided to follow something that had to do more with finance and marketing, because I started to realize that maybe business was something that I was a little bit more passionate about. And I start this new school year, but I'm repeating the same year, just different classes. And believe it or not, I meet a brother, and his name is Amir. And subhanAllah, Amir is something else. Amir is Pakistani, and he lives here in Italy, just like I do, alhamdulillah. And as soon as he met me, we immediately got really close to each other, as in our friendship basically started. But of course, I wasn't a Muslim. But up until meeting like Amir, the only thing I knew about Islam was terrorism. So, you know, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, and all of that, the worst of the worst. So when he came about, and there was other girls in my class as well, and he would actually tell them, you know, actually, I don't want to shake your hand, or I can't touch you, or I don't want to touch you, you know, because of my religion in Islam, I can't touch other women. I was just astonished because I'd never seen a Muslim actually practice Islam in front of me. Yes, I'd seen Muslims, but never actually practicing the religion in front of my eyes. That was the first time ever that had happened to me. And so immediately when I saw that, I was like, okay, this guy's different from all the Muslims I've met. And so we start talking. I ask him a few questions about Islam. And believe it or not, my first question ever was about the hijab. So immediately started asking him, why on earth are you forcing women to cover their hair? I started asking, which now I know is absolutely not the case. But then he started explaining, and I'm guessing it's the same with you as well. It started to make sense. The answers he gave started to make more and more sense. Like, logically, that's just how I naturally felt. I was like, wait a second, this guy's actually making sense. Well, what is that? Am I Muslim now?